Good afternoon from Blue Devil Gymnasium. This is Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, Western Big Six style from the girls' side. And yes, you heard me right. We are in Blue Devil Gymnasium for the game today, mainly because the regional wrestling championship is going on at the Quincy High Gymnasium. Quincy's hosting the regionals and the sectionals. So the big matchup comes to the big floor, the big stage, as we might say. And this matchup, of course, took place back on December 14th in the first one. Quincy was down 11-8 after one. Halftime they got up, take that back, it was 25-24. We're down one or we're up four. I have two prints in my book. I need to double check. But the third quarter, down by four, 44-40. We would lose the ball game 56-52 in that one. And for those who remember, Coach Dance was down here taking care of his mother at that time, and so he did miss the game. In that game, we had to watch out for Miss Awu. She had 15 points in the ball game. Lewis had 11, but more importantly, Kaylee Pena, she had 17, including 5 threes from outside. So you got to watch where she's at. She will find herself, and she'll hide. That ball will be kicked out and will go in. Speaking of a guy who never hides, he's out in the public all the time. Coach Pettit, we've had a good night of basketball. We've got 3 games today, and this is really the main one here to kick us off.
Well, the winner of this game, if Quincy High can beat East Moline here, and East Moline, they're ranked 12th in 4A. Quincy High's ranked 7th in 4A. Both of them very similar records. Quincy High 22-5. UT 21-5. So this is going to be a heck of a game. The big girl, Awu, in Western Big Six play, hadn't been updated yet, but 10 games of the 12 that they played, she's averaging 19.5 points a game, and 10.6 rebounds per game. Just started looking up a little bit of stuff on her. She's getting offers from all over the place. Division I, her athleticism.
Thought she was going to NC State, actually.
Well, okay.
And maybe she just made an earlier commitment on that. But anyway, we got to talk to Coach Dance real quick, and we'll hear from Coach here. And, of course, his coach's comments are powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. And welcome back to the pregame show, powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Here at Blue Devil Gymnasium, a change of venue for the Quincy High Blue Devil girls, and I'm here with Coach Dance, and that's a different look, but it is nice coming in here. I know we like our own gym, but it's kind of nice to come over here.
Yeah, we're here today, so we'll make the best of it, and we'll get after it. So it's going to be a good game between 2 good teams.
And, of course, those who wonder why, we got wrestling going on 2 weekends in a row, the regionals and sectionals out there, and so needed a place for them as well. All right, this is it. We've been looking for it. We talk about week by week, game by game, and here we are. This is the game in front of us, a revenge game. You weren't there, of course, up there, but we played good, and it was Awu, and I think we know we probably have a pretty good plan for them.
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing there, and we just got to do a better job defensively. We've worked on some things, but, it's still going to have to come down to executing. There's going to be times where we execute, and, 6'5", 6'6" is going to be hard to defend a lot of times, but I think we're going to do a good job pressuring the ball, and we're playing pretty good defense right now, so I like where we're at.
Well, it really kind of goes back early in the season when we had O'Fallon in the taller team. We're going to see O'Fallon, of course, in the postseason as we get the 3 seed right behind them. We expected that. So the matchup. Health-wise, now Taylor's ankle looked pretty good last week, and I know Cameron told me her ankle's doing good. So injury-wise, we're pretty good?
Doing better, yeah. Taylor's still a little tender. It was a little bit sore Thursday during that game, so we tried to limit it as much as we can. But once we get out there, she's a gamer, and she's probably about, I'd say, 75% right now. But she's giving it all she's got. I'm very proud of her.
All right, now the other one I didn't even ask or didn't talk about in the game. Layla went down the other day. Well, she went down through the lane, and of course our first thought was, oh my gosh, we got a knee injury. Then it looked like maybe just a Charlie horse or something of that nature. What actually took place? And she bounced back in the game, so obviously she's fine.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing. She came down, and it was like it was her shin area. It was kind of like she didn't twist her ankle really. It was just kind of, I don't know if she was laying awkward and had a sharp pain in her leg or what. But so she's doing better now. It was a little tender, but she's doing a lot better.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Devils play the way they've been playing, and you guys have been picking it up, and that's the way you want to for the postseason, should be a pretty darn good game day.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's 2 good teams. He does a really good job over there coaching those girls, so we'll be ready, and he'll have his girls ready, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good contest.
Sounds like a winner. Well, good luck, and we'll catch you in the postgame.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And that's Brad Dance. Of course, he is powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. I still want to say Quincy Honda on there. Up next, the Blue Devils and the Panthers here at Blue Devil Gymnasium on mechasportsco.com. And we thank Coach Dance for that pregame there, and he was kind of somber in game mode. He's a lot like the guys across town when they get in that somber mode before a game. You just stay away from them. Of course, we've had announcers like that in the past that you don't get anywhere around them for the first half hour before the ball game. For us, you can join us right up to game time, and all you got to do is when I hear you're on in 5, that's when we go.
Well, and, to be honest with you, I was on the other side of this. When I was coach, it's like I'm down in the corner somewhere. I'm walking back and forth, thinking about, maybe the first 4 or 5 plays I'm going to run, against what kind of defense they're going to shoot at us and so on and so forth. So I've been on both sides. This side's a little bit more relaxing than the side down there.
Indeed. But the key always is, if you prepare your team and yourself before a ball game, as we always said, the games are fun. See, everybody always said, when you get to a game time, your practice is where you put all your hard work in and everything. So when you get to game time, it's a blast. And so
well, that's player-wise. Coach-wise, a little bit different because you're sitting there thinking about, okay, are they going to do what I told them to do? Because you have to have all 5 parts, working together, doing the same thing, in order to be successful. So sometimes it's one of those things where I would still churn, shoot a minute before the game.
Oh, I'll tell you, though, that's might be different, is the fact that now you did have the college men. Maybe my college women were a little bit different than high school boys and girls in that capacity because, we were pretty relaxed at that. And when I got into game time, I knew shot clock-wise, I had a 30-second shot clock.
Yep.
Wasn't much thinking to do that. We get down, transition, first look, second look, boom. So, hey, so much about our coaching days as we drift back. Here's the conference situation right now, and with all these games, I'm usually ahead of the game. I did not get some of my stuff updated until just now. Sorry to share that with everyone out there. Right now, East Moline is 21-5. They're 11-1 in the conference. Quincy is 22-5, 10-2 in the conference. So here's the game to knot them up here. Galesburg won the other night, now 23-5. Okay, that's right. And they're 9-3 in the conference. Alleman Catholic, 24-4. Of course, they lost to us. They're 8-4. Then the bottom is Sterling, Rock Island, Moline, and Geneseo mixed up in there. And Rocky and Moline down at the bottom had a overtime game the other night. Mentioned those games. Quincy beat Alleman 52-30. That one really was a good game until we unleashed in the fourth quarter.
That was a lot closer than the 22-point final score.
Indeed. Galesburg won 42-31 over Geneseo. East Moline 44-29 over Sterling. And as we just mentioned, Rocky 57, Moline 52. And that was in OT in that ball game. Devils come in, still roughly around 55 points a game, 32 points given up. They've only had one game in between. And guess what? I don't have East Moline since I was a little behind there. Sorry, folks. We can tell you they're tough.
Well, they're very, very good. So, their only losses, I was looking at them. Galesburg beat them early in the year, and Galesburg beat us early in the year. But, we reversed that second time around. They've lost to Normal Community, who's number 6 in 4A. They've lost to Stillman Valley, who's number 10 in 2A. They've lost to Davenport North, who is 17-2 on the year. And then they've also lost to Benet Academy, who is a traditional power, in ladies basketball in the Chicagoland market. Looking at Quincy's losses, O'Fallon, we might get our payback game, regional championship, but we lost to O'Fallon, we lost to Galesburg early, and then we lost to, East Moline up there by 4, and that was overtime, correct? Was the East Moline game overtime?
Yes.
And then you have, the Morton game, and Morton's ranked number 2 in 3A, and that was a 2-point overtime loss. Then after that, they beat Washington, who I believe is ranked 3rd in the state in 3A. So, it came back. And then, Columbia Battle over there, that was a battle. That was an overtime as well. So, both of these teams are battle-tested. A great game first round. I think we're going to have a great game today.
And now it's time to stand and step on our court here as we get ready for the national anthem. And we get to see the band again as we look across. Coach Pettit mentioned 3 tuba players. And our national anthem there by the Quincy High Band, and they sound good no matter where they're at. Whether they're here or over at Quincy High's gym, they sound great. Here's your starting lineup, though. First of all, for the Panthers, as Awu takes her sweatshirt off there, they'll play number 5, Kaylee Pena. She's a senior. They don't list their heights, but Pena's a short little guard, and she is dangerous. You got to watch her. She hit 5 threes in the last ball game in her pink shoes. Yes, folks, there's a lot of colored shoes out here that we're going to be talking about tonight. Number 12, Cassandra Bonert. She is also a senior. Number 20, Sierra Hull. She wears number 20, as we mentioned, a senior. Lorena Awu, a senior, number 42. And you can definitely tell she's 6'4", 5, 6, somewhere in there. And Shantia Lewis, a senior, number 55, for Coach Chase Pavlonis. And he's got 5 seniors starting tonight.
Oh, a veteran team. They've been through the Western Big Six wars, I'm imagining this group's been together for probably 3 years or so, playing at the varsity level. So, it's their day in the, in the sun. So
you know what's nice about this, Coach? Coming over here, we normally don't get to see the video board because it's on the left wall just down from us. So it's a hard angle for us to see. So this gives me the first time to actually see our video. And both of them, the Devils and the Devil Girls. It's a fantastic video. Get you excited here. Wait a minute. Do we have a female Devil tonight, or is Nate Hessler going to come out and do his thing? By the way, last night was senior night. Congratulations to those seniors. The Devils are 37-31 at halftime with a lead over East St. Louis. We'll try to catch you up later in that one as well. And today was Teacher Appreciation Day, and each player picked their favorite teacher and came out with them in between games. That was pretty awesome stuff there. Now for the Devils. Here's how they'll start off. First of all, East Moline is in their black and orange as it's Halloween time. Always that black and orange, that good look. The Devils will start. Number 4, Leah Chevalier. She's a 5'8 senior, although they listed her in here as a junior. Oh, that's last year's program. No wonder why that was. I saw that, and somebody had flipped my sheet and put the wrong one on the board. Freshman, number 14, Miley Loncor. Number 21, freshman Jada Brown. Senior, number 22, Layla Dade. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 42, the senior, Taylor Foey. And, of course, the Devils are coached by Brad Dance, assisted Brad Bergman, Katie Klopper, and Greg Wellman. Good crew there. We talked about these teams and who they played last week. We talked about the conference standings. All the talk is over, folks. Time to get down to business here. As we say on the other side, taking care of business. Devils are in the center circle. Look at Jada Brown, Coach. She's a tall girl. You said almost 6 foot. What do you think Awu is?
Well,
and the Devils went ahead on the defensive tip there. East Moline with it, Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. It's mechasportsco.com. From the right side, first 3 goes up. Oh, and it banked in there from the side. Shot was made by Sierra Hull. I guess I need to move my scoreboard up to the current game. Devils down 3-0 early in this one. Devils get in their half-court set. on offense. Chevalier's on the left wing. Short corner. Foley. She takes it to Awu, then takes the shot. Good. Taylor Foley. And Taylor knew stop short where she can't pick you up. Full court pressure being applied. No pressure.
Well, and the thing, if Foley can hit a couple of those shots, get up there, do a head fake like that, Awu will come out and try to block the shot. That's when you take it to the hole and get the foul.
Bad pass thrown inside, taken away by Layla Dade. Down the left side. Here's Foley. She steps back in, and we got our first foul. And, Coach, in that earlier game, Lewis played strong. You look at her, a little bit shorter, but she's solid. Oh, yeah. And she had a good game up there as well.
Well, she's second in rebounding for this team, averaging, about 5.5 boards, per game, during the Western Big Six schedule. So she's going to mix it up underneath it. Good, solid girl.
She had a good game up there as well. Foley missed the first, has one more. We played just about a minute. Taylor hits the second one. That knots the game up at 3.
And when you have a bad ankle, it's kind of hard to push off when you're shooting free throws.
Got that thing wrapped up pretty good after the 2 weeks here. She's had some time as she played the other night. East Moline in the half-court set. Awu's inside, obviously, on the low block. Devils trying to keep her and trying to front her whenever possible. Foley's behind her. Pena out on this side. Hull. They go into the high post. Lewis looked quickly, but it wasn't there. But Pena was left in the right corner. No good. Weak side. Screen out by Foley was awesome.
Great box out.
Longcore got the rebound only because Foley had the screen out. Down the right side, Chevalier on the right wing. Back out here to Longcore. Both on the post. Now Jada Brown flashes up to the top of the key. Jada faces up in the left corner. Here's a three by Longcore. Just off the front of the iron. Weak side rebound, Lewis for UT.
Good inside out look by the Lady Devils.
And good tip there in the deflections by Chevalier that Foley could add the steal. Here's an outlet to Leah. Left corner, she's going to bring it out. Pena tried to sneak it in the back pocket. Longcore on the right wing. Bounces it into Brown. Here's what I'd like to see. Jada playing against her and get a foul, and she does. Jada made the extra step, and Awu didn't realize it, but it was a foul across the arms. But a good move. She stopped, looked, and then took it to the hole.
Well, what I liked is she caught the ball. She faced up, then gave it a little bit of shot fake, then put the dribble down on the floor. The shot fake got Awu a little bit off the ground, used her body, got the foul on, with a couple minutes into the game, getting, foul number 1 on the big girl. I'll take it.
2 fouls on UT. Brown misses the first, comes back for the second, hits the second. And again, Coach, coming into a different atmosphere that we're used to, I don't think it's going to make a difference. These girls know how to play, but, the backgrounds, the free throws, it does change things a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I'm sure they got over here to practice a little bit this week. Inside 6 minutes, first quarter. Devils with a 4-3 lead. UT with the basketball. Hull goes right side. Hanging the ball above the head. Now kicking back out was Pena. Pena actually came over to get the ball.
Good pressure by Dade from the 2-row.
Keeping it on the right side. That's Pena. Also in the ball game. I don't think I had a number 2 here. Actually, it's 12, excuse me. Awu, the ball is tipped, and I'll tell you what, Foley went down, so I don't know if there was a little bump there, but Awu got her first basket of the game.
Good hands by the big girl catching that and then putting it up with the left hand.
That stopped the run of 4 points there by the Devils. Early in this one, Longcore on the left wing. Bounce passes it inside. Brown started to make a move on Awu, and sliding down was Pena, and Pena will do that. She'll slap in there. You need to get her in foul trouble and keep strong. She knocked it off of Brown's shin.
Well, the one thing Brown did the first time is she faced up against her and then gave the shot fake. This time she's backing down the 6'4" girl, which, she's giving away about 6 inches.
Good block shot by Foley on Awu. I thought she spent a little time in the lane there myself. And there's Longcore trying to lob it in on a double team to Brown. That wasn't going to happen. Pena was on the weak side to steal it. Yeah, I was going to have to watch here because unless she's got a camping permit, you're still only allowed 3 seconds in that lane. Oh, coming from the weak side on the pass. Taking the shot there was
nice box out by
Bonhart,
Foley.
But no good. Here comes Dade. She pulls up 14 off the glass. No good. Rebound comes down. UT, not a bad look there. She has that little soft runner, too, that she floats up there.
Overall, offensively, we've got good shots every time down the floor except for, I think, a couple times where we had turnovers. But, for the most part, good looks, good patience.
Pena shoots from 23. It rolls in and out. But right there for an easy rebound, but then misses the shot. I got no problem with Foley fouling her on the second shot. It's a lot easier to see her shoot from 15 foot and make a free throw than 2 foot, especially for your first foul of the game.
I'm going to tell you what, the big girl runs the floor, got great hands, keeps the ball up high. You said North Carolina State, they've got a player coming down there.
She's a load. First free throw off the back of the iron. Like I said, I would share all my fouls all game long as it's not your same player, and use them up and put her on the line, especially when she's 2 feet from the basket.
That was still a pretty good stroke there from the free throw line. So, I mean, we'll see how she does it today.
Does make the second one.
Nice,
1 for 2.
Nice rotation, finishes high.
Everybody 1 for 2 so far, all 3 free throw shooters. 2 of them are the Devils. It's 6-4 UT with 4 minutes left in the first. Loncourt from the corner. No good from the 3. Had a look. Had defense with Pena coming down.
Quick shot, though. I mean, one pass and then shooting a 3. Like to see him working around. You can get that shot anytime.
And UT did the same thing as they took it out to the side. Holt took a 3. She did hit the first 3 of the ball game. So
if you got a three-point shooter that's shooting 45, 50%, yeah, first open look you get, you better shoot. Like I used to have Knobloch at Marengo. It's like you run down the corner, you get it, you're open, you don't shoot, you come out.
Oh, wow. Foley went for a pass down low. Everybody looked because they thought UT touched it.
Yeah.
And they were going to stay down there. But then they sent it the other way. I still think he got it wrong. I don't think Brown touched it. Anyway, layup. Missed there. Here's the other Awu girl. Now you go 1-2 punches. We didn't see that much up there, and even Lewis is strong, but now we got height in here again. The other one is Linnell and Lorena into the ball game.
Linnell's got to be 6'3" if Lorena's 6'5".
Oh, exactly. Traveling now on UT. Devils with a substitution. Bree Lannert in, so it is Bree along with Leah Chevalier, Layla Dade, Taylor Foley, and Jada Brown. Other side, Pena still in there with Hull. New into the ball game. Camaria, Perkins, and the Wu sisters. Top of the key. Oh, good-looking three-pointer, no good. And the ball bounces twice, then off the head of Foley. Gives it to Brown, and it comes down, and Brown gets the basket. Foley gets the assist, as she does so well, and we are knotted at 6.
Assist and the offensive rebound, then the assist.
And on that one, it bounced off ahead a little bit there as it took one extra bounce on the rim. 3 minutes left, first quarter action. The Lady Devils and the Lady Panthers. Hall at the top. Chevalier's all over her. The pass is tipped by Bree. It was going down to Pena. And you do have to watch Pena. She shoots from everywhere, and she's got a quick trigger.
Well, she's one of those ones that you need to locate wherever they're at, especially in the 1-2-2, and be, communicating. Okay, shoot her on the way, and let them know.
Notice they get rid of the smaller Awu. She just came in long enough for a breather. And we got substitutions. Lewis back in the ball game. Lewis has on the right wing. Triangle game. That ain't getting through Foley. She looked like a goalie on that one, didn't she? Reached up and snagged it.
You had Awu being double-teamed by Foley and Brown.
Layla Dade, the 15-footer, no good. Weak side rebound picked up. That was Perkins. She gets down to Lewis. Lewis, see, she gets on the floor and gets out.
Oh, yeah.
Pena over the left side. Lewis is going to play the high post. Awu's down low, and UT another turnover. So we've had some turnovers on both sides that have not been forced. Devils are pushing out.
3-3, about. So, once again, we're sitting here at 6-6. So turnovers, points, everything about the same.
Right side, Brown. She's 24 feet from the basket. Waited for a couple cutters. Now Foley's down there. She's got Lewis. She steps one side. And she had a nice shot and a nice move, but the ball rolled out on the weak side. Yeah, I think that's the matchup. Once you get Lewis down there with Foley, go ahead and spread out, let a one-on-one. Right side for UT. Hall in the corner. Chevalier was shielding Pena. She had to make a move just to get the basketball. In the high post, Pena. Perkins right back outside. Pena goes left side. Lewis lobs it inside to Awu. Awu was behind the basket. Missed the first shot, but she got her own rebound. She's got the putback. She's got 5 so far. 8-6 UT over the Devils. Brown, right wing. Looks for our flashers. Dade goes through. Chevalier goes through, and that's where you get the match. It was. Foley got the high post and looked for the cut. It wasn't there. Foley now drops it down to Brown. Brown gets blocked there by Awu, and on the, after the block, when she grabbed it in the steal, she stepped on it. I was looking for, what do you call it after the block? I guess it is considered the steal because you had it, but box out of bounds play for the Devils. Dade will trigger. Brown out to the corner. It will go all the way out to Chevalier. 1 minute left in this quarter. Leonard, high post, Foey, right side Brown. Jada took one dribble, but got it smacked away. We're under a minute here. In the left corner. Dade starts to drive, kicks it back out. Chevalier with a quick one. Devils doing a good job keeping it outside.
Good patience by the Lady Devils. Nothing's really open, especially with the Woo down low.
Foey now left wing. She's going to take a 22-footer. I think that got touched. They're probably going to say that. It looked like Pena got out there because when the ball left her hand, it just didn't have enough juice. And that could be the ankle, too, trying to push, Coach, that you mentioned.
Well, bad ankles. I mean, you shoot with your legs, so, an ankle will mess with your shot more than darn near anything else.
Inside 40 seconds, first quarter. 8-6 UT. UT has the basketball. Lewis comes out, picks it up. To the top, that's Hull. Hull looks for a pop. There's Pena popping out, but Kate Medemeyer, who just checked in, has to be aware of Pena in the corner. Lewis starts to drive in, and Lewis looked like she was going to take the shot, but then just lobs it up to Wu. And that's nice if you're going to get that close. Just throw it up there. You know she's going to get it. 10 seconds left.
I was going to say that they've done that before, I think.
Right side Medemeyer down to 4 seconds. Got to get it to a shooter. Goes to Brown. And defense was there. Problem is you got the ball in the wrong player's hands and didn't realize the urgency of getting the ball to somebody else. And Coach Dance is looking at that. The quarter has ended. It's the visitors. That's UT Panthers. They're up 10-6. And, of course, this is Blue Devil basketball from the girls' side on MeccaSportsCo.com. And we are back here at Blue Devil Gymnasium.
Thank you, band.
First go, yes.
For our flashback there.
Indeed. First quarter, 10-6. Devils have been point blank a number of times. Devils did get the lead 4-3. It was tied at 6-6, and the last 4 points run out by UT. And it's basically everything but that Hull three-pointer. The last 7 shots have come from Awu.
Well, yeah, like I say, the big girl in the middle, she's a dominant force, both offensively and defensively, making the shots hard, for our big girls, going down low.
And there was a good cut. The Devils started off with the ball. Left wing, Brown had it. She went to a cutting Dade who didn't grab the ball. Might have been outside of her reach just a little bit.
I was going to say bounce pass on that might have worked really nice.
Because that gives you time there to pick the ball up off the floor.
Yep. Well, and you're throwing it to a gal that's, 5'6", 5'7", so big girl cutting down there, throw it up high.
Hole in the right corner, Lewis on the right wing, Perkins on the left, and Pena on the left corner. It goes all the way around. Awu's the only one that didn't touch it.
Good challenge.
On the missed shot, the rebound was Brown. Going hard to the hole. I must say, Longcore, I like her taking Hull to the hole. Didn't make the layup. Maybe get into her a little bit more, but she had a lot of juice on it. I think she thought she was going to get bumped. Lewis, 8 feet in front of the basket. She'll pass it down in the corner, but she'll travel. That's Perkins in the corner. Your lineup, Pena, Perkins, Hull, Lewis, and Awu for UT right now.
Good job by Miley Longcar closing out in the corner, forced the travel. Over back. Come on, girls.
I was kind of confused, Coach, just because Longcar was in the backcourt, right?
I think they
Dade
said that she went over in the front court and then threw it in the back court and they caught it again.
Okay, I'll have to look at that on the film because I didn't. I thought Dade was in the backcourt too. I thought Longcore was in the backcourt, so it really doesn't matter where you throw it because
as Billy Packer was saying, that's a nickel dimer.
Yep,
right there.
I don't like that, but we'll take a timeout. Coach Dance is wanting to get his girls shake them cobwebs there. 7:14 left, first half action. UT's up 10-6.
I mean, Awu in the middle defensively has changed, what Quincy needs to do. They need to either pull her out, and hit the little, elbow jumpers, which, Taylor Foley and Jada Brown can do, with regularity. They need to bring her out so we can get some offensive rebounds, get after her like that.
Wow, Perkins threw a horrible pass there at the feet of Pena. Coming out, we got the held
Jump
ball,
ball,
right?
okay.
So alternate possession arrow will stay with UT.
That's all right.
Checking out Perkins back in the ball game. Cassandro Bonert. She triggers it in. Hull has it out top. Hull's got Chevalier on her. Looks like we're in the 1-2-2 now with Chevalier at the point. Boy, we let her dribble the whole baseline there, but it comes back out to Lewis. Longcore and Dade at the high post, low post, Taylor, Foey, and Jada Brown. Baseline runner and a good little shot there by Pena as she hits the runner, her first.
I hate when defenses let the other team drive along the baseline, then pass it out. You need to go over there, stop it, outside the lane line, and then let them pick it up, make a pass, and you're okay.
Well, here's our problem, too, there. And again, Miley throws the ball away. And the key here is she dribbles and picks her ball up as a freshman. But then nobody's there to help her. Guards have got to come to her when she was in trouble. Now, coach is telling her not to pick the ball up. But still, the seniors need to get their tails over there and get it. 12-6, Devils are down. UT's got the ball. Good job there. Jada Brown stepped in front of Awu. Chevalier picks it up then. Across the timeline. Leah sets it to the right side. Bree Lannard checked in for Longcore. Bree comes all the way back out. And Leah's going to reset. Taylor Foy's in the high post. Jada Brown's on the left wing. Awu's going to stay in the paint. She's not coming out at all to follow any of the big girls. And we've got a foul on the weak side. Actually, that was the strong side. It's the weak side for us because it's the other side. Pena, her first. That is the first of the second quarter for UT.
We need to figure out as an offense how to get the ball down to the elbow, to make Awu come out and get us. If we don't, she'll sit down there and she'll block everything and she'll grab every rebound like she just did.
Indeed. Here, I look up at the fouls and they've got 3 for the visitors. And that's basically the whole game. It switched the quarters, and so we're in the second quarter with 5:39 left. UT has the basketball and a 6-point lead. Lewis starts the drive. Somebody should have been stepping up there. Luckily, Chevalier stops her at the free throw line, but that was a charge waiting to happen with her starting to drive. Lewis at 14. Oh, look at Bree. She steps in, caps the ball before she has the shot. Ball got to the baseline. Brown was tracking it down with Awu on her tail, and at last touched Brown. I don't think about Jada being short or Taylor until they're standing out there with Awu.
Well, yeah.
Lorena Awu and her sister.
Her sister's only a sophomore, so.
Indeed. Pena out from the outside. 3 is no good. Chevalier with the rebound. Awu was heading down court. She could care less about the offensive rebounds. That's a plus for the Devils. Right side, down to the corner. Brown's going to take the 14-footer. Oh, no good, but Pena on the weak side. She was the only player there. I don't know why she was jumping. she jumped like the sheep do when there's nothing there.
And that's where our opposite wings need to go in and get that rebound because that would have been wide open.
Dade will trigger the out-of-bounds play from the baseline out to Lannard. Dade came around. A screen, but quickly UT picked it up. And another high pass. First of all, it's a high pass, but the pass is clear on the other side of the court to this side. Cut down your spacing. Come to the basketball.
Well, I tell you what, East Moline has pushed us out of our offense at least 3 or 4 feet all the way around.
Yep, get back in there. And that was just a simple pass across court. Of course, if you came to that one, it had been 10 feet over her head. Lewis has it out high.
Everything should be around the three-point line going in.
Exactly. Perkins steps in.
Whoa.
Oh, gosh. That's just plain ugly. I'm sorry, folks. Perkins banked it in from out high.
Well,
She banked it in
so far it's been East Moline's game.
Luckily, Perkins only banked it in for a 2. Thought for sure that might have been a 3. Maybe she called it. Substitution now. Lewis is going to get a break. She's going to get a lot of breaks. The other Awu comes in just long enough to get a rest. Miley Longcore comes back in, so the Stars are in there. Dade's going to trigger. On the low blocks is Brown and Foey. Right corner, Longcore, and left corner is Chevalier. Bouncing into a double team. That's all right. It came out. Longcore gets it to Dade. She pulls up. She pulled up quick enough for the shot, but I'll tell you what, the defense is collapsing quick, so at the very last second of our shots, we're having them tipped or altered.
Well, we've always said, you challenge the outside shots and make sure you're boxing out. You're going to win lots of ball games, especially, in the ladies' game.
Well, if you can't pull the trigger without anybody coming on you,
yep,
don't pull it. And that's the thing. We've been pulling the trigger with defense almost on us. We think it's an open shot, and it's been caught. Pena snuck in within 8 feet, and she gets the basket. Coach Dance not very happy with this one. Calls another timeout, as we basically had since 6-6 a 10-point run, and that's why it's 16-6 right now. And Pena, as tough as she is from the outside, she's just a little feisty.
Well, she snuck in the middle there and had the little quick Chris Paul release, that little runner from 10 foot, got rid of it real quick. And, you know, I mean, I hate to say it, our big girls are down there. They're kind of preoccupied, you know, with the two Awu sisters, you know, underneath the basket. So they've got to stay there. So she stuck right there in the middle of the lane. Boop, real quick, nice little floater. Blue Devils are going to have to figure out, you know, something, especially on the offensive end, because last 4 or 5 possessions, we have not been, you know, fluent, you know, in the offensive end. Choppy, you know, every pass is contended, you know, unforced errors. You know, we got to stay a little bit more focused and get back to what got us here. Elbows, high lows, short corners, dive to the basket. That's what we got to do.
And I would say, too, that if Awu's down low, we needed to come somebody down there and shield her if we're going to take outside shots. Shield, you know, screen somebody on the wing so our outside shots are uncontested. Longcourt takes the point and travels right away.
I'd like to see us set some screens on her and do that opposite side screen, you know, and make her fight over a screen to get there. She might be a little bit late. Then you might be able to, like Brown did earlier, take her to the hole, get a foul on her.
Indeed, she's only got one. We got 3:25 left in the first half.
And that was 2 minutes into the game.
Perkins turned around for a 14-footer. She hits the front of the iron this time, so she didn't bank it. Rebounded there by Brown, and here comes Dade. Left side, Longcourt. Don't hold it that quick. Get it back out. Dade at the top. Longcourt's on the left wing. High post, Foey. She goes right side to Chevalier. Now a screen. Chevalier's on the right wing. Left wing's Longcourt. Now a two-guard offense up front with Dade in there. Chevalier comes back out high to Dade. Almost lost into the backcourt. Resets inside 3 minutes. Left side. Awu will come out, but it skips to the right side. Dade, and Dade just gets it anywhere near Pena, and Pena just knocks it away. You got to protect the basketball. Pena is just feisty. She's out there doing the things, especially at her size, you got to do. Back to the top, right side Pena. Longcourt comes out and picks her up. Back to the top, Perkins. I'd let Perkins keep shooting, even though she did make that one. Awu's are in the high post and low post. I'd let her stay in the high post because she's got to make a good pass, but then again, she's got height. It goes inside, and a bucket. And that's the younger of the two, actually, isn't it?
No.
Nope, that's the same one.
Yep.
So in that case, I probably would have let the other one up at the top of the key, and the high post had the basketball. In the half-court set, Chevalier in the right corner. Brown was in the short corner, too late now, though, but she's still going to send it down there. Brown has it knocked away briefly. See, that's a long wingspan, so you got to keep that basketball away. Forward to Dade in the left corner. Dade looking. Everybody's all on one side. Brown. Brown will take her. She'll spin. She's got a double team. Block shot. Foley goes 1-2. No. And the Linnell Awu, and I think on that one, she slid a little bit into her as Foley was going up. You put your arms up and you're that tall, you just get that extra inch or two. In the half-court set. Still 18-6 now. Devils down by 12 in the first half with 1:21. Foley gets the steals. We had a high-low pick. We actually had Foley high, and we had Brown low on that one. Longcourt starts to drive in traffic. Back out to Foley. Right side Dade. Now Dade gets a good setup on that one. No good. Weak side Pena. It went over Chevalier's head. That was a good look, and she at least got squared up. No defense was coming out on her.
Well, and I think Pena kind of gave Chevalier a little shove in the lower back with the forearm that helped her get the rebound on that play.
Lob high to it was down to one of the other girls. It was actually the hole. No good. Pena just runs into the lane, throws something up off the glass, which that's what you can do, and Awu gets it. You know, and now that is one thing as a guard, which is smart ball. Her shot was as ugly as you could possibly have.
You got the big girl like 2-3 feet, you know, right in the middle of the lane. You know she's going to get the rebound if it doesn't go in. That was definitely not a good shot, but a good rebound.
Down in the short corner on the right side, Brown. Back to the top of the key. Left side, Longcourt. Longcourt using that right hand predominantly. Starts to drop the head as she does. There it is right there. Stop dropping the head and dribbling. Pena just reached in and knocked it away. we got to get some dribbling skills out there during the offseason. Because for Miley, her best position is sitting on the wing, waiting for the ball to be passed to her. And there's the final buzzer for the first half. The Devils get 6 points in the first quarter, do not score in the second quarter. And the Devils are usually the defensive staunch team, but they find themselves down at half 20-6, 14 straight points from UT.
Well, and to be honest with you, Devils are pretty close to where they want to be defensively. 40-point game, East Moline scoring 40, you figure you're going to get a W, okay? We've got 6 points, none in the second quarter. Our offense has been stagnant. The big girl, I saw a couple times where we did get it into the elbow, caught the ball, and was looking to pass it out to the three. You got to catch, you got to face, you got to look at your cutters. Short corner, yeah, you catch it, you rip low, you go to the basket first of all. You know what I mean? You don't catch and look for a pass. No, you catch and go to the basket. Then they stop you. Then you make the pass. It's one of those things to where we were playing very tentative on the offensive end.
Hey, Rusty Miller's out here, not in a referee's costume.
Oh, are we talking Halloween now or what?
Indeed out here. But he is going in to talk to the guys. I see that right away. So he must be sitting on the other side. All right, Coach, here we go. Normal West. After 3, Devils lead 46-38. So they're up by 8. Now, last night they won 65-32. They put 65 up against East Moline. The Devils would put 65 up today with a 65-51 victory over East St. Louis. So the Devils sweep in shootouts this year. We couldn't be there. We were there in spirit. But congratulations, Blue Devils, 65-51, a 14-point victory.
Well, and that's against the team, East St. Louis, that's ranked, I believe, 7th in the state in 3A, if I'm not mistaken. Granted, they were 15-6, but they travel all over the United States to play the very best, in high school basketball. So that is a very, very good win for the Blue Devils. Congratulations, Coach Douglas and the rest of the crew.
And that should be 23, right? 23-2. I think we were going into that one at 22. No, last night we won. So it might be 24-2. I have to double check. When you miss a game, it's kind of tough because trying to get back on track. I always hate that. And, of course, when you got 4 teams to cover, kind of hard, as we've done with the Raiders and Lady Raiders. We'll be out there tonight, 6:30. The Lady Raiders taking on Okieville Rockets. 8 o'clock to follow. It's the QND Raiders, and they will take on West Central Cougars. Should be a great matchup there.
Got a lot of state-ranked teams out at the pit tonight.
And here's your band with a little Chicago.
25 or 6-4.
And when I'm done with this song, Coach, I'll ask you, do you know why there's a meaning for that and why they named it that? And I'll tell you after the song. What's that, Coach?
Do you have the other headphone?
Oh, yes, we'll get on that here. So for the post game as it comes around here, halftime. By the way, that was Chicago, 25 or 6-4. Whether it's true or not, but this is what they said. They were recording. It was in the middle of the night. Somebody said what time it is, and they looked and they said it's 25 or 6-4. That's where you got it. So not a lot of, awesome meaning. It was just pretty simple in that way front. Now, if that's not right, I'm sorry. That's what I picked up there over the years. So Chicago, what a great band. First half, and I'll tell you, this is kind of a shocker. And I got to tell you, though, now this is just off the record. I got to believe Coach Dan, everybody's thinking, well, we're not in our gym. There's a good crowd out here on both sides. but you get the feel for your gym. Not to say that we haven't been point blank with a good opportunity at some shots, but we've had a lot of turnovers out here. Again, we're not getting the ball in the right hands. We're not coming to the ball, the spacing a little bit. And part of that is caused by the defense from the Panthers. But again, they got a big girls inside. They're going to stay inside. Jada Brown can shoot from outside. Taylor Foley's got a nice shot from outside too. Bring the big girls out to shoot a little bit more, and then keep moving the ball. And the key is when you've got the basketball, and if you're anywhere now around Awu, first of all, she's got a wingspan. On the other side, Pena doesn't have a wingspan, but she is sneaky, and she is right there all around. So if you get a rebound, you better not even bring it down to your waist because it's going to get knocked away.
Well, and that's the one thing. I think we need to be more aggressive, on the offensive end, especially getting the ball, to the elbows. And to be honest with you, it would be great, to get the ball at the elbow to, Taylor Foley or Jada Brown. But, I mean, shoot, I'd like to see Longcore up there catching the ball at the 15-foot mark, right there, catching and turning and looking and shooting the ball from 15. Bring the big girl out, and then when she comes out and gets you, shot fake it up, go to the basket, or bounce pass around her, but you got her away from the basket. It's way, too hard, if you're going to try to bang underneath, with that 6'5" girl.
I think also, too, protecting the basketball, nothing negative. These are just as you're in evaluating players in the situation, as that's what we do. I got to believe you got to get in Chevalier and Dade's hands. I love Miley as she's sitting up on the wing for the shot. Yep. I love her coming off screens. I like her on her defense. Handling the basketball, most games is okay, but she's still got the right hands. She doesn't like the left as much. And then she also always is looking down. The last drive she had on the weak side, she dribbled into three, and maybe even the fourth player was there, that if she's got her head up, somebody's got to be open. So not negative. I'll say work on your skills and work on your left hand. But I really believe, as we always talk about, passing the basketball gets somewhere better than it does and faster than dribbling it. Now, you've got reasons for dribbling it.
Well, yeah, and, that's one thing I haven't seen a lot of ball movement, around the outside, and then, the flash is up. I mean, it's been too much dribble, then pass. Dribble, then pass. Pass the ball, side to side, make that 2-3 zone move, and then you will get open looks.
And as we know, with a zone, the way you bust a zone, two ways. Obviously, you shoot it out where they've got to come out and get you, or you hit the seams, and if they don't slide down and hit those seams and stop you, you're to the basket.
Well, and the third way I used to do it, I used to have a couple of, set plays to where, you come in, set the screen, come around the screen, make the wing come up and guard, and then it's either kick to the corner or here. But you got to have a good ball handler that can see that, or come off the screen and shoot that little 17-footer. So there's a lot of different ways to break the 2-3. We just got to do a better job of doing it now.
Well, the one good news is, Coach, when we look up there at the board, we've only given up 20 points.
Yep.
You may say we got to make up 14, and we've only scored 6. How are we going to do that? We know we got the offense. We know our offense is not gelling. Our defense is doing a pretty good job with the big girl inside. Of course, she had 7 in the first quarter. She's got 11 of the 20.
Yep.
So she's scoring. Pena's got the other 6.
Yep.
So I got to believe if 17 out of the 20 is coming from 2 players. Actually, now it is 15 because you also had Perkins with a bucket. But if that's the case there, then who do you focus on? And again, inside, they've done a nice job when you've seen Foley in the front and Brown in the back. Foley has gotten a lot of steals because they're trying to force it into the big girl, and it's just not there.
I tell you what, the 1-2-2 is a very hard defense to play when you've got a big girl that's dominant in the middle. Because if she's moving block to block, that's awful hard to guard. You may want to look at maybe a 2-3, maybe put Taylor Foley in the middle and have her matching up, with her as she's moving. And then you got your 4, your box, guarding outside and going from there.
And we've got her below the basket a couple times. By the way, Pena only has 4. That 3-pointer was by Hull, and I didn't erase it completely. So 4 and 11, so 15 of the 20. Devils will get it to start the second half. Let's see what it looks like. Chevalier on the right wing. Down the block is Brown. High post is Foey. Long corridor is on the left wing, and here's Dade now at the top. That's our starters for the second half. Chevalier drives the baseline. Little short shot, and you never notice weak side every time Pena comes down from the high post to come down to get the weak side rebound. They cover the strong side with Awu and, of course, Lewis. That's two of them. The rest of that lineup in there, Perkins is back out. No, Holt is actually there. And Bonaire, same starting lineup. Right side, Pena. Now Awu comes out top of the key. Only to exchange the ball. She tries to get down in the paint. Starts to work in, works her left. I thought Foley did a great job there, and did. Shot was over the glass. It hit the glass. Chevalier weak side rebound.
If you can keep Awu out, 7-footer out, I think you'll be in good shape.
Brown goes in strong on her. Has her shot blocked. Oh, and the second one's blocked too, but it was from the side. I thought after Jada got her Brown, I thought we got the foul too. A little too much contact in there on that second one. First one, clean. Pena works the left side. Devils in man-to-man. Left corner is Hull. She starts to make a drive. Chevalier comes down. It goes out to Lewis. Chevalier almost with a deflection there. Pena with those bright pink shoes. Of course, Jada's got her pink on hers, and the mauve or lavender long course shoes. High-low, Lewis. All right, that's 3 seconds in the lane. Awu still in the lane. And I know you get your chance to make a move, but Awu starts in the lane. 1, gets the ball. 2, then makes a move, and it's 3, 4, and 5. Got to get the big girl out of the paint. Left side, Dade, 22-6. Devils still haven't scored. Long court, top of the key behind the screen. Quick with a shot. Off the glass, but Foley gets the rebound. Foley gets her shot blocked. Got to get some separation on her. I don't think you can take it in on her, and you're not going to get the call on the foul, so you're going to have to figure out how to get her off.
Well, you got to pull her out.
Exactly.
You got to pull her out to the elbow.
Here's Hull. Brings it down to the free throw line. Everybody's looking inside to throw the ball. Payne at the top. Here's the shot from outside, no good. And notice how Wu does not go out for those rebounds to go over anybody's back. Longcourt has it after the rebound by Brown. Brown comes down. Brown spins. She kicks it out. 15-footer. Foley. Good.
That's what we want to do right there. Catch the ball down low. Awu went down to, help on the double team with Lewis. Kicked it out to the elbow for the wide open look.
Foley with the basket. First time we have scored since back at the first quarter. And that's with the 5:31 mark here in the third. Devils in man-to-man. Offensive foul low. Saw that one coming, Bonaire. She set the illegal screen as Pena comes around for her first foul and the first. And we really haven't had a lot of fouls. 3 on the side of UT and 1 for the Devils so far.
I really like what they did last possession. Getting the ball down low to Jada. Awu went over to double team and help, and then kicked it right out to the elbow, from block, opposite elbow, wide open look. And they're going to have to hit those. Then when they start hitting those, shot fake it, go around her, get her out of position so you can get the fouls.
And I think Awu, if Taylor takes her and she comes out, she can take her to the hole.
Foul.
Chevalier gets checked by the body. She went down, but Longcourt picked the ball up. I got to agree with you on that one. Awu did step up. And I don't care if you say, well, she was there. She was moving. Dade at the top. Inside 5 minutes, third quarter. Brown's going to take the 3. Comes up just shy. Came back to the strong side, and Wu tracks it down. Ooh, Wu almost threw a little elbow out there with the wing. Pena comes down. Wu gets in the high post and stays. Pena looks. I thought she was going that way. Now comes this way to Perkins, to Lewis on the wing. Brown's on her. Brown's a good matchup for her because Lewis can get big inside. There's a hop step there and another step. I'm going to tell you what, I saw the hop step first and I saw the shuffle of the feet second.
You got to front her, though. You can't let her catch the ball 7 foot from the basket.
Here's Foley over to Brown on the baseline. She stops with Lewis. Foley comes out. Here's what I want to see.
Right there.
She goes all the way to the hole. Misses, but Awu didn't even go after her. Foley gets her own rebound. And Taylor's going to shoot 2. Did you notice on that move, as soon as Taylor made a move, and if this girl's going to play a D1, she's going to get blown away because she has no footwork to catch up to anybody from 15 foot in. Now. You play
a 2-3 zone, though, and put her right there by the WB6, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, you don't have to, exactly.
Yeah.
Lewis is coming out. The other Awu comes in. 24-9, one more for Taylor. Forgot to ask who that foul was whistled on. Foley hits both. And Kate Medemeyer comes into the ball game.
55, Lewis, I believe.
Lewis out of the ball game, yes, 24.
Yeah.
24-10. Full court pressure being applied by the Devils now. This ain't a bad idea. And there's Medemeyer with a steal. Kate's going to go in, and she's got the body contact for the foul. Kate's going to shoot 2. And I'm going to tell you what, full court pressure brings the big girls down back to the court.
I'm going to tell you what, when you got, Chevalier and Dade, to go up there and pressure the ball, I would make them have trouble bringing it down, and go from there. Because, if they let them bring it down, then they go underneath. Not a recipe for success for the Devils today.
I swear they put Lewis up on the board. I had to double check that. I thought, wait a minute, she's sitting on the bench. Medemeyer hits 1 of 2. Lewis is coming back in. That was on Hull, actually. It was her second. And the second of the quarter. I've got 3 now for the quarter. Devils in the 1-2-2, 3-quarter court. Wu comes up. You don't need to foul her right there.
No, not at half court.
No, and in fact, actually, jumping from the back court or the front court to the back, you still would have been okay. But she's going to be around there for a good chance at a possible over and back. Medemeyer got called on the foul. That's just a little relaxed back offer. Foley's getting a break right now. Man-to-man now coming. Oh, Brown's doing a good job on Wu.
Yeah, fronting her.
Oh, and she's pushing her back a little bit. They're not getting the call. Did another little move, too.
And then
she's got some moves,
Yep.
Sneaky moves. Here's Dade. Down to Brown. Up strong. Good. Give Dade the assist. Give Brown the basket.
And Brown outruns Wu down the floor after they got done banging down here on the block.
Well, you know that's going to happen. A much better, excuse me, I missed a free throw here. And we got an offensive foul. They finally saw it.
A Wu.
For her, only her second foul, though. 4th team foul. I think Coach Pavalonis has figured this thing out now. Now, Dance is coming down to talk to the official. This is the one that I didn't think on that one. I don't know what he was asking him. It's a timeout with 3:12 left in the third. It's UT 24, the Devils 13, so they've scored 7-4 in this quarter. You got to get it back slowly.
Well, much better job on the defensive end. Giving up 4 points here in the first, 5 minutes, of the quarter. Much better job defensively. Plus, offensively, they're getting it to the soft spots, at the elbow there. So, and we've seen, a couple of good passes, seen a couple of good wide open looks. Defensively, the pressure that the guards are putting on, much better. And I think that's what we got to do is Dayton Chevalier got to get out and pressure the ball, full court or 3-quarter court, and, make it tough for them to, have those entry passes, to the big girl.
Nice thing is here we're getting rotation, too, for breathers. You get Brown out running a Wu. If she's staying in the game, Brown's out right now taking a break, so it's Dade, Leonard, Chevalier, and then Foley and Medemeyer. And so in the backcourt, here's Dade. Approaching 3 minutes left, third quarter action. Devils doing a much better job in this quarter. Medemeyer goes in the high post. Foley, she'll pull up for a little one. Good. Right in front of Wu. So you're not getting her to move much.
Well, yeah, once again, catch on the 15-foot, catch at the free throw line. One dribble, a little 12-footer. Wu's not going to come out and guard, but she may have to here before the end of the game.
Yeah, she'll play really tough on the second block down offensively and defensively. Drive the other side. They're always looking. Lewis is going to take a 3. She's dangerous out here. No good, the long rebound, and they let Pena sneak in. And then Pena just flips it up to the rim and scores. This is the girl should not get a rebound here as the Devils just have their 7-point run stopped.
Well, hey, I tell you what, when the shot goes up, everybody's got to put a body on everybody.
And that's it. Pena has been on the weak side the way they set up their defense and their offense. She should not get that. She came out in front of the basket. Short corner, Chevalier back out to Foley. Foley's on the left wing now.
Much better ball movement by the Lady Blue Devils. Oh.
Pass over to the wing. Medemeyer missed the handle on the ball, then turned around and fouled her second.
I was about ready to say the ball movement via the pass, from one side to the other side. A lot better last couple possessions.
Second foul of this half and this quarter, both on Medemeyer. Good pressure by the Devils. Out to the top, back over the left wing, Lewis. Brown can't go flying up there. when Wu's got that post up. Good double team on Lewis. And we got a jump ball.
Blue Devil ball.
Lewis trying to work around. Everybody left her. And so Foley got it for the jump.
I thought they got the last one.
You might be right, Coach. We hope not.
Well, that's too
we hope we didn't give it to him. Wu,
Gosh,
right there,
way
turns.
too easy.
No, and she's all over the back of Brown, and no whistle. And then she had a 5 count right there. I'm sorry, I got my official shirt back on, and I got to tell you, we're letting something get stretched away for UT. Wu was all over the back of Brown right in front of us. You got it on the film here, folks. 1:27 left in the third, 28-15. See, and that's one thing. You just can't give up those. When you work hard and you're screening her out, you should get a foul. Blow the damn whistle. Brown on the corner. That's not why we're down by 13, by the way. Left side, Leonard. In the left corner, Foley. Foley starts to make a drive, brings it out, kicks it weak side. That's a tough pass. Dade brings it in for the floater. Her shot no good. Weak side, Pena. Pena's going to get 8 rebounds in this game just from that weak side because there's nobody else over there.
Well,
and we're not there.
Yeah, we're not hitting the offensive glass at all.
I would go after it since Wu's not in there.
Well, every time the shot goes up, you should have at least a couple on the offensive glass.
I just saw a touch foul there on the lob. Wu knocks somebody down here. We don't call it. Foley touches her wrist when she's getting the post, and we call it. And you know me, I don't bitch, but I might come down and have a word with these guys because I know 2 of them. 46.6, 28-15, and I hope they listen to this. Brown, a good tip out, but then Hull picks it up. UT with it. Pena throwing up her. Oh, gosh, another one. Pena throws up a garbage shot, and it bounces right back to her, and Chevalier then tries to block the shot. I didn't like Pena's little smart look there. I'm starting to get a little negative here in this ball game. Chevalier, her first foul. We got a long day of basketball, too. I'm starting to get that coach's itch there a little bit. First one by Pena is good. She'll have one more. But it's because we're not screening out, right, Coach? And that's why she got the rebound. She did get the look. And once we got the ball at 24-15, we let 6 points run off.
Once again, when that ball goes up, you got to be communicating, let them know it's a shot. And everybody needs to put a body on somebody, whether you're in a 1-2-2, man-to-man, doesn't make any difference.
Around the perimeter, Dade kicks to Longcore. Longcore, no shot there. Bree Lannard, she goes to the free throw line. Good pass, and there's a good shot. Bree Lannard with a good pass in there. Jada Brown with the bucket.
Free throw line, elbow to elbow. That's what's open with the big girl because she's not going to come out until you nail a few of those.
Yeah, I don't think she's even going to come out then. And the last second shot. 40 feet from the wing. Was that Hull that hit that shot? No, that was Perkins. That's the same girl that banked her 3 a little earlier. Oh, they only had it for a 2 earlier. Wow, that's the way the day's going right there, folks. End of the quarter. Devils get it within 9, 24-15, and they get outscored 8-2 to be down 9-2 to be down 33-17. Ouch.
Well, Blue Devils are going to have to, offensively be very efficient here in the fourth quarter, and get good shots every trip up and down because we've had too many empty possessions, especially in the third quarter. And, they're going to have to box out better, try to bring the girl out. If she's not going to come out and pick up, Jada or, Taylor, coming up to the elbows or the free throw line, they're going to have to come up, turn around, and I'll tell you what, both of those are going to make 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 4 from the free throw line if they're not going to come out and guard.
Tell you what, this is a scouting report for O'Fallon to say, look, first of all, they get out and put full court pressure on you with big girls.
Yep.
And they're going to watch how they attacked here. Devils got it tight. Now it's back to a 16-point game, 33-17. Devils will get it, though, for the fourth quarter.
We're going to have a good next 2-3 minutes here to bring it back into, range to where we can make a run at it.
Leah did not even look at that shot there in the right corner. Foley, Brown, Dade, Longcore, and Chevalier. And after we work it around, we get off there and we throw the ball into the backcourt.
Well, once again, we got Taylor Foley down in the left-hand short corner, and we have nobody on the opposite block or the opposite elbow, for the open look.
There's a lob inside. That's all you got to do. Throw the ball up. It'll get there in her hands. And she's a player. I mean, she's tall, but she's a player.
Oh, she's got great hands, great feet, very active, offensively and defensively.
What killed us was the run leaving the first quarter, through the second quarter, into the third quarter before we scored again. That can hurt. 7 minutes left in this one. Devils got a lot of work to do here, and it starts out on each possession getting the bucket, not throwing one up, and then good defense on the other end. Dade, right side. Dade just goes right by Awu. Shot was up on the glass, rebounded out there by UT. I'm not impressed with her defense outside of being right on the block and putting her hands up, but that's when you're 6'5".
Yeah.
That's my own personal.
6'5" long, and she's got good hands.
Yes, she does.
Right hand, left hand.
Oh, if you give her the basketball within 6 feet of the basket, I mean, the key is don't give it to her that close. Easier said than done. Longcore somehow gets through on the dribble. Brown's inside on Lewis. There you go, up with your left. I'll take the right, missed it, inside. Foley missed the shot. Brown came back in. So 2 good looks at the basket. And if you noticed, Lewis came over to play D. Awu just stands there with her hands straight up. She'll get destroyed at the next level. My own personal opinion. Lewis at the top to Awu. Because you've got guards at the Division I level that are almost her tall at 6 foot that can play. And there's a three-pointer from the right side. Pena misses. Good job by the Devils on that one. Dade closed out. Foley got the rebound. Inside 6 minutes with this one. Right corner. This is what I want to see. Leah Chevalier, keep taking it. That's an open three. You got to take the shot.
Yep.
Especially when you've got it wide open there. Feel confident. 37-17. Pena has Chevalier on her. This side, Hall. And a good job here. I'm going to tell you, after all the muggings that Wu did, Longcore just mugged Hull, knocked her down, and then he called her out of bounds on the line.
Well, we're going to have to get, very aggressive here on the defensive end and force some turnovers, go down for some, quick, easy looks in order to get back into this game.
Indeed. Longcore around the perimeter to Dade off the left side in the high post. Chevalier. Leah goes down the left corner. Brown looked briefly, but Pena was there. She goes right down to Brown. Take that shot, 14 foot. Off weak side, Lewis loses the handle on it. As she was behind Chevalier, but the ball came long on the weak side.
I think Lewis got away with a little bit of a push in the middle of the back on that
well, when I was right down the court up there, I was right there, and I watched a lot of that action between the 2 big girls. That's probably my frustration with not getting a call there. Foley, a good turnaround on Awu. And like I said, Coach, that move was nothing more than a little short move, and Awu could not get her hands up in time. That's why I said she's ready for this level. She is tough at this level. She is not ready for the next level yet. But like we say, you can't tell a kid 5'8" to go play 6'5", and with her hands and her feet work, although I don't think early in the game they watched how many times, if you watch, she, like Caitlin Clark, she starts shuffling those things out there. And I can't believe what I saw last week when Clark basically did an NBA shuffle here and there, and you're like, come on, folks, I don't care who she is. That's a travel. So, and this has been sponsored by the officials today. Oh, the Devils got down in this one. And maybe my frustration is that a couple times when we've gotten solid on Awu, trying to get her in foul trouble, because if you get that girl in foul trouble when she's on the bench, the game takes a whole new twist.
Well, and I think attacking her, you got to bring her out away from the basket, and we've tried to, muscle up and go up into her, 5 foot from the basket, and she's too long, and too strong down there.
I hear
now, you bring it out because we've hit a couple of the free throw line jumpers, couple of the elbow, catch at the free throw line, 2 dribbles off over to the elbow, little 12-footers. And she hasn't come out and guarded that very well.
And when she has come out to guard, here's Lewis with a shot. No good. See, Awu was right there on Longcore's back there. If you noticed, every one of our drives, 15 foot in, she does not guard very well at all. And she's allowed him she's basically played the bullfighter, Olay, and she's let him go. And that frustrates a defensive-minded coach. So we fall down on the floor. Luckily, the ball bounces off of UT, but it was almost a steal the other way as Perkins popped up. Devils will get the ball back with 4:40 left, down 37-19. So we got some work to do on the offensive side.
No, big possession here. If we can get a 3 and cut this down to 15 with, 4.5 to go.
Indeed. Stop the one dribbles. There's another one dribble. Look at that.
No, one dribble and then pass, and then gave the defense time to get out in the passing lanes and deflect it out of bounds.
If she would have turned and take the step, made that pass, it's there. Or if you're going to dribble, keep the dribble and come to her then. Cut down that passing zone. Oh, my, Layla. Watch that, almost over and back. Loncourt at the top. Another one dribble. I'm going to count how many times we get a one dribble out of that. High post. Brown. Dade starts to drive. She does a little floater. No good, but the rebound comes back to Layla. And a reset for the Devils. She'll have it in the right corner. That's Dade. Her shot no good. Brown reaches out for the rebound. Has it knocked away by Lewis. Here comes UT the other way. Pena with the basketball. Comes back to the top. Hull and Pena. They're going to stretch this out, I imagine, with 4 minutes left in the game. Loncourt guards Pena. Left wing to the high post. Awu tries to lob it in. Bad pass. Good defense there by Jada Brown. That pass wasn't even there. Short corner, Foey. Foey looks to go, now brings it back out to Dade. Back to Foey. Taylor stops for a little 13-footer. Wow, we're really long on those 12 to 14-footers. If that's the case, back it up to 3 and take the 3. UT with the basketball in the lead. Awu's down in the low block now. Foey's got her. Lewis has it left wing, back out to Pena. Lewis on the wing. Pena ready to back in. Good idea by Foey, fronting her right away. Hull drives in. Hull takes the shot. Oh, and Hull gets a nice roll there. Ball basically caught the iron, and it's round, so it worked its way around. 3 minutes left. Devils down. Foey in the right corner. Into Chevalier. She's down low. And now we get a call with 2:56 left as Chevalier makes a move, and Awu just checks her with her body. Her third. First of the last quarter for either team. East Moline's going to take a full timeout and draw something up here as they are up 39-19. 2:56 left. Blue Devil basketball from the females side here with mechasportsco.com. .256 left after the timeout, 39-19. And today, I'll tell you, it's stretching my complete gambit. I've been a player, I've been a coach, I've been an official, I've been a radio announcer, and I've just been a fan. So my frustration early when the Devils weren't playing well is trying to get those fouls and those little plays. And, we are matched up with the number one team in the conference. It's 1-2. Some of that comes from playing good D and having a girl that's 6'5" that takes up the middle. A sister, and there's Foey with a 14-footer, no good. And then Lewis, who also plays good in that post. Matched up with a good guard outside. Pena, who seems to get more rebounds than any other point guard. Awu at the point, both of them there. That was her sister, Linnell.
And Pena's not very big, maybe 5'5".
Oh, she's
5'4".
The way they just set up, they know that they stretch everybody out. Here's a shot, no good. Awu, look at. Oh, Loncourt climbs Awu's back. No call. Awu bumps Chevalier. She gets the whistle. So I'm gonna go with that because that's her fourth. And the second of this quarter.
Well, that's the difference in size, though. You got Miley climbing on the 6'5" girl's back. She ain't gonna move, but then she bumps Chevalier, and Chevalier flies out of bounds.
Exactly. Dade starts to drive in. She puts it up on the glass. No good. Trying to keep it alive was Foey. Awu got the rebound. Look at this. You're going to turn and whine in a high school basketball game because someone's going after the basketball on a rebound? No chance. Awu down on the block. Kicks it back out to the corner. Out to Lewis out high. Still back to the left side. Awu. Foley tries to go in. She just backs it in. Not much you can do. Misses the shot. Dade. She's not effective outside of 3 or 4 feet. She gets to be Their percent goes way down.
Well, and the one thing is, I think we got to get in front of her when she's 6, 7 foot out, push her out, and then have your weak side help coming over chopping.
Good ball movement there. It went down on the baseline, a little farther than the short corner. Chevalier got it to Brown, but Brown didn't have a shot, so she went to Foley in the right corner, who had a three-point shot. 1:24 left in this one. Stick around for the post-game show. Coach's comments. Won't be questions. I'm just going to open it up and say, what do you think? And we'll let Coach Dance go. Of course, stars are brought to you by and powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Flashing from the right side, actually from the left side with Hull. Lewis had a nice pass in there. 4 on the perimeter. Awu's inside. Foley's playing behind. And we got a foul on the perimeter. We're going to have to foul at some point. Chevalier, her second foul. Team's first in the fourth quarter. Other side, only 2. So I'd say somewhat of a clean game, but I will say somewhat of a clean called game. Because we've seen people climb on Awu's back. There's been just as many pushes on one side as the other. But, maybe like the boys, when you get to the division Western Big Six style and you get to the postseason, you're going to let the big kids play a little bit harder.
Postseason's going to be, always is a lot more physical. So, this is a postseason type game, to be honest with you.
Loncourt almost 90 days tip there from Perkins. Saving it was Perkins in the backcourt. And we got a 30-second timeout here with 51.1. I don't think there's a 20-point play in our book, just simply for the fact that killing the clock, and if you do throw it into Awu, she's going to get it.
Well, he made the timeout to get subs in because, let's face it, these gals coming off the bench for East Moline probably never get another chance to play at Blue Devil Gymnasium, and this is a treat for them.
Yeah, they've had a good game. East Moline with a good ball game here. My frustration has been probably, much like Coach Dance's and probably the Devils, we didn't play the way we know, and when we didn't score in the second quarter.
Well, we got 6 in the first quarter, didn't score in the second, so we had, 6 at half, and we're up to 13. So we got, a 7 and another 6?
7 and 2 to go, so we're on with that.
Yeah, we're, it's 13 points in the last, last half. Not very good.
Ball inbounded to the back. Well, it stays in this court as all new subs in here. Notice who they left in, though. That's the big girl in here.
Or is that the sister?
That might be the sister, Kate Medemeyer. No, I think it looks like her. It's her. And it is her. So they leave her in the ball game. Now they'll take her out as soon as she scores. No, they don't. Okay, now they're finally her sister's going to come in. I didn't get that. Anyway, substitutions for the Devils.
That might have been 1,000 pointers. Who knows?
And like I said, that's why I never put too much on that. I gave more bits into the earlier stuff. So that one, Cameron Baez, Madeline Hamby, Jasmine Lewis, Kate Medemeyer, and Bree Leonard in the ball game. Cameron took the 3. Not Jasmine, but Cameron took the 3. Missed it. Hustling down into the corner. Jasmine was there. Talked to her before the ball game. Said nice free throws the other night. She had 2 very nice free throws. Mm-hmm. Just got up. Boom. Hit them. Here's Leonard from the right side. 3 good. Bree with the 3. Hey, that kind of rhymes. You like that? I'm going to have to ask her to put more up. Devils into the 20s. Down to 12 seconds. Byquist will commit the foul. Obviously her first, and she's just in the ball game. Yeah, it's tough to have a frustration when you get so excited with your team. It's always like in the postseason when it's your last game too. And so when you get in that situation during the game, just felt like there was a couple times where getting her in there and letting her just back down in the lane. And they don't call over and back. I can ask Kerf about that. The girl caught it, put 2 feet down this side, went into the backcourt, and I think he was going to say, well, 1 foot was on one side, one's on the other. I might as well with
8 seconds to go.
I might as well keep saying it because I'm said it the whole game. So 5.3 left, 41-22. I've heard him say a couple things to other people before, coaches. And that's your final. Blue Devils take it on the nose today. 41-22. East Moline comes in and wins the conference. I'll have to see where East Moline is going in the postseason. See what
they've got the 2nd seed up in the normal community, that section regional. Normal community's 1, they're 2. And then on the other side, you've got Alton, O'Fallon, and Quincy High. And those regionals will fill into the normal community sectional. So we might get another shot at this team, coming up.
I don't think they're going to get through it. I'll be honest. I just don't think they're going to get through because I just think somebody's going to match up big and not let her push them all the way down the block and giving her the shot. Like I said, outside of 4 or 6 feet, I mean, great hands and great feet, but the shots were off.
They're probably going to get Bradley Bourbonnais in the regional finals. They'll get either Rocky or Moline first round, which they'll beat Rocky or Moline on the girls' side. So kind of like what Quincy's got. They'll have a regional final against O'Fallon at O'Fallon. That'll be a tough one to match up with. And East Moline will probably get Bradley Bourbonnais, which is the 3rd seed. Normal community is the 1 seed. So there's an opportunity here. I mean, we've seen it before where, a team has, beaten one team twice in the regular season, and then they get to them in the regionals, regional finals and or sectionals, and the other team comes back and learns from the first 2 losses and, takes advantage of that.
Well, that's last year. That's basically Alton only didn't have anything. Their losses were to O'Fallon. O'Fallon's losses were to them, I believe, and Alton with only 1 loss or 2 losses exits the tournament.
Yep.
So and again, when they went all the way, there's a good chance that either one of those teams would have went all the way.
I go back to, I believe, Coach Weber's first or second year with East Moline when he was up there. And he had beaten Quincy 2 times during the regular season. That's when he had that team that got to the super sectionals down at, I believe it was Redbird Arena where I went and watched them. And they came down here, and the regional was here in Quincy. I drove down here, sat right up over there. Coach Weber's dad sat right across the thing. We sat there and jabbed back and forth the whole game. But, he had a chance to do something that no team has ever done against Quincy boys basketball, is beat them 3 times in 1 year. So he had the opportunity. Quincy High, and I think Quincy High was maybe 14-12, and he had like 23-7 or whatever, and Quincy High beat him down here in the regional finals, and he didn't accomplish one of his goals that he had set forward.
That's a good idea. Don't let them beat you the 3rd time there. So tough one here for the Devils, as I'm sure the idea was win this game, take a share of the title. And because this is the key game here, because who we got next week? Did you say Moline?
Well, we've got Moline up there, obviously, and, East Moline finishes up with Geneseo, and they're kind of on a downward trend. So, I'm expecting UT. Well, and once again, they've got a 2-game lead on the Blue Devils now. So I believe East Moline will, have a –
they got the outright title.
A party on the bus, and taking that Western Big Six championship, back up to the Panther Den.
Well, again, it's a very good basketball team. Have not taken anything away in the game. I was, like I said, if you listened to me a little bit, I'm a little frustrated we didn't get some fouls on her early, but then we ran up her back, and so it was pretty well called the same way. It was not that changed the game at all. It was the Devils' lack of offense. The Devils defensively letting her back all the way in.
Yep.
And then the weak side, Pena getting all those rebounds. And again, that's the way they're set up, in their shift, that when everybody's shifted, there's only one person on the back side, and Pena slides down. And I don't know how many times she came down today and got a rebound. So the strategy is there. East Moline does a great job. Pavalonis, a nice job here as the coach. I compliment him. And, just frustration. The Devils played so good through the season that you hate to have a game like this on your home floor. So we'll have Coach coming up here in a second. We'll have a chance to talk to him, get his perspective on here as I power up there. And the post-game course powered by Cunis Honda and Cunis Hyundai. Well, not what we expected, Coach, and I don't even have a first question. I pretty well got it opened up to say, what'd you think? And I know what you thought, but where do we go here?
I thought defensively we kind of did what we wanted to do. I knew she was going to get some baskets underneath, and that's part of it. But we on the perimeter we struggled a little bit keeping the girl in front, and then offensively we were just not good today. and I'll take part of the blame for that. Normally we execute, we share the ball. We looked very helter-skelter. We looked disoriented, and that's not like us. And, the girls are pretty upset right now because they know what they had in front of them.
Oh, I'll tell you, it got me involved in the game because early in the game, too, I'm looking and I go, hey, are we backing her in there? Is she too long in the lane? Is she fouling people? Are we not getting fouls on her early? And so I started to turn into the fan, and getting frustrated with this. But really it came down to when we look at it, we're at 6-6. And the next time we score is in the third quarter. We only score 6.5, and we don't even score in the second quarter. And that was part of just, as Coach Pettit always said, discombobulated. The things we do run, the high-low, and some of the stuff we run, when the big girl never leaves down low, and she doesn't. In fact, if anything, when Taylor brought her out and went one-on-one, she blew right by her. And I don't know how she's going to play defense at the next level because she never moved her feet at all, but she didn't have to.
Yeah, and we really wanted to focus on getting the ball to the high post, and we didn't do a very good job of that. We struggled doing that, UT's a good team, and like I said, it was frustrating because we didn't execute the way we had talked about and worked on. We got to get back at it. I know this one hurts and staying, but it's part of the game. We've got some kids in there that I feel bad for the seniors, but also the younger kids they've got to learn from this, and they've got to make sure that they first thing I challenged them was, you guys have to remember that you got to come to play every single night. And, you younger kids that are playing aren't going to be hide under the radar anymore. I mean, people know who they are. So we've got to make sure that everybody's ready to go every night.
Well, and you nailed it right there, Coach. It's a game. Whether you lose a one or you lose by, this much, you've got to focus because it's not the end of the season. And so they just need to realize, okay, it wasn't our best game. Now let's go to the film. Let's see what we did wrong, and let's get back to where we were at. We know how we've got to do with the big girls now. We know what the postseason is going to look like. So, and we've got games to go, and we've got a postseason look that if we hang our heads, O'Fallon will just thump us, and we know we can go back and beat O'Fallon.
Yeah, we've got the mentality that we know we can play with them, but we've also got to step up, and we've got to show that every day. So, we'll get back at it Monday, and we'll go Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday will be senior night. So, and then Thursday we'll finish up with Moline.
Yeah, and like I say, it's going to be fun down the regionals. I'm kind of already looking a little bit ahead here because you guys may get another opportunity to get this team, at normal community
yes. Yep.
in the sectionals.
Yep.
So, it's one thing to stay focused on what you need to do and stay disciplined to do what you're supposed to do. And but yeah, you guys will have another opportunity. This team, I got a funny feeling.
Yeah, and we've just got to execute better. We got to, we know we didn't play very well tonight. I mean, today, and that's what I told the girls. I said you can hang your heads, you can pout. We had a very tough week. I mean, we played, our last 5 games we played 4 state-ranked teams, and this is our 3rd game this week. And there's a lot of variables behind the scenes, things that are going on. But it's a good group. They're going to bounce back. They're upset, but they'll be ready to go on Monday. So
indeed, put it in the garbage can and say,
yep.
Look, we'll talk about this years later. Let's talk about it when we get to the regionals final or the sectional final, and then look back at it in there and just put that target on their back and let's go after them. But hey, we're in second. We're still at the top of the conference. This is something the Blue Devil program that you put together has gotten up to. We're in 20 wins again, second year in a row. These are things so positive we need to pay attention to. Look at the positives, throw the negatives out when they're behind you.
Yep, that's what we talked about. That 4 years ago we were just kind of starting this journey and they weren't in a position. We were second or third in the conference, third maybe. And then they want to win the conference. They want, and that's their first goal every game or every year now. Is we want to win the conference, win your home games, and then win the conference. So
indeed,
and since this was kind of a road game today, we'll count it as a home game.
That's what I was going to say. This is a little bit different, but
we could talk about that for a while too, but we won't.
Oh, I know. Let's make it short, just like this game. Let's put it the way, and let's just talk about next week, Coach. We know the team plays better. You do, I do, the girls do, Coach Pettit does, and so like you said. Throw it away. Let's get up to next week, and let's fire up.
Yep, we'll be ready to go. Thank you guys very much.
All right.
it.
Thanks, Coach. And that was Brad Dance there, of course, after the ball game, and he is powered by Quincy. It was Quincy. It's Cunas Honda and Cunas Hyundai. After that many years of having calling on him as Quincy Honda, it used to be Dean Lampkin, if you remember, too. At least I haven't said that. And, coaches, we're right there. Look, we can sit there and talk this one to death.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't going to get any better. We can sit there and say, there's no what ifs.
Well, no. This film is one that you look, you go over with the team, say, okay, we should have done this, we should have done that, we got to get a lot better in these certain areas, because this was a sectional type basketball game. The physicality, the getting after each other. I don't think the Blue Devils met the aggressive level that East Moline had. Except maybe, halfway through the third quarter. This is one of those games where you have to play every possession, offensively and defensively. And to be honest, tonight, out of the 32 minutes, we probably played 20 of the 32 minutes tonight. Second quarter, we were non-existent, So, I mean, it's one of those things to where you can't spot a team 8 minutes, not score a point, and then go another 2 minutes. In the third quarter, you had 10 minutes where you didn't score a point, and yet you still only lose by 19. So, I mean, we basically played them even. First quarter. Well, what was first quarter?
It was close, 10-6. But, again, Coach, in the last game, we only scored 8 points up there in the first quarter. So we started out slow in the first quarter up there. Here's the positive you look for in this game. Last time at home, this team scored 56 points. We kept them to 41.
Oh, yeah.
That's closer to our average in the season. We're like, and this is a dang good team winning the conference. And if you can only put 41 points up against them night in, night out, you have a chance to win.
Defensively, 41 points, holding them to 41. If you'd have told me at the beginning of this day that, if we held East Moline to 41, I said, well, we got probably a 5-6 point win, the way we've been executing on the offensive end. But I don't know what happened and whatever. I know the big girl in the middle, caused a lot of it. But, I still think you have to attack them from, free throw line in, catching the ball, trying to bring her out. Because I thought we did a much better job of that. Halfway through the third quarter, we started looking for that. And, I think Foley hit a shot out there. Brown hit a shot out there. I don't like Jade out there, because she probably took, 3 threes tonight, 4 threes tonight. But,
well, the post the same way last time. Our posts were the scoring, 11 and 7. Those are down from their normal.
Yeah.
Although, like I say with Taylor, game in, game out, she might, like last game, she only scored 2. We looked awesome on that. So her scoring doesn't scare me at all. Jada with only 7. Okay, they held them, but then only 4 points outside of that on the offensive end, and that's something we got to look at. And we got some players that used to score 0. We got an 11-point average there and scored 0 tonight. It's tough.
I mean, they did a good job, covering up Longcore on the outside. Every time she caught the ball, somebody was running at her, and she didn't have those wide-open looks. But once again, we didn't get the ball inside and then kick it back out, because it seems like we did too much dribbling tonight, versus, passing the ball, moving it around the outside. And, against the 2-3, if you got 4 out and 1 in, that one in swinging up, and making the big girl move, it's going to open up a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, we talk about, keeping this short, but when you have 2 coaches talking, it's kind of hard because as I'm analyzing things, I got something for a couple players, left hand, head up, dribbling. There's some things that really need work on that, and that'll be key for them. And then, again, we got some studs that are freshmen and upperclassmen, but, instead of knocking their negatives, we always said, Coach, and this is something we'll end on before we go to the book, they always said, back in our era, all right, you got something that's strong. Work on your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses. Well, I'm of a different philosophy. Go to your strengths and do your strengths and pick up the weaknesses a little bit, but don't focus so much on your weaknesses, because what happens is while you're working on your weaknesses, your strengths are getting weaker. If you've got a certain game, emphasize that game. Pick it up. You can pick up the rest. I'm not telling you ditch the other stuff, but I'm saying sometimes we talk about weaknesses and working on the complete game. Sometimes people don't have the complete game. Sometimes they've got, and I'm going to start with defense. If you can play defense for me, you'll be in the lineup. I don't care who you are. And I go back to Brett Douglas. Didn't have an offensive game at all, but spent a lot of time in the starting lineup here at Quincy and at John Wood, and hats off to him.
Well, to play good defense, you need to know, number one, where you need to be, in the defensive scheme that you're going at. And number 2, giving the effort. Okay?
Tenacity.
Those are the 2 things on defense. If you know where you're supposed to be and you play hard and give it your best effort, you will be successful on the defensive end. And tonight, the Lady Devils, I thought, were very, very successful on the defensive end. Offensive end, not so good.
Exactly. Hey, we'll break down the scoring here. First of all, for East Moline with the win. They are the conference champion. Congratulations to the conference champions. Leading the way, that's Lorena Awu. She had 21 points tonight. 8 points out of Kaylee Pena. 7 points came from Sierra Hull, and she hit the 3 of the first of the game, threw a couple in. And then Camaria Perkins, of course, she banked that shot from outside, and she had another one like that too, and she had 5. That's the only 4 scoring on the other side for East Moline. Cassandra Bonner was in the ball game to start, did not score. They brought the other Awu girl in there. She did not score. And Shantia Lewis did not score as well. So that's showing you the Devils did a heck of a job, because if I remember right, Lewis in the last game.
Didn't she have like 11?
I think so, and I'm going to look at that too. You got it, Coach. You put it down there right, 11 points.
Yep.
And she was a factor up there. So turning around for the Devils, who lose the ball game today, but not going to lose any sleep over this one. No time for it. Devils fall to 22-6, 10-3 in the conference. They were led by Taylor Foley with 11, 7 points from Jada Brown, 3 from Bree Lannard late in the ball game, 1 from Kate Medemeyer, nothing from Chevalier or Longcore in the starting lineup. And, of course, everybody else got in late, which ended up with Jasmine Lewis, Madeline Hamby. Kate Medemeyer was in there early. I think we covered everybody, all 10 players out there for 22. So a tough loss, but just like the Blue Devil girls, we don't have time to look at it because we got to get across to the pit to do 2 games tonight.
Yeah, and like I say, you've got, the 4 teams that are playing tonight in our, 2 games at 6:30 and 8. You have 3 state-ranked teams, that are going to be showcased out at the Superfan Shootout. So, join us out at the pit and/or if you can't get out there, watch it on Mecca Sports Co.
You got it. And, of course, the Devils won up at the Normal Crossroads Shootout, Normal West. The final here, I'm going to grab it one more time. Of course, I had it on the board.
65-51, I believe.
Thank you, Coach. I think you're right there. And, in fact, that is it. And you know who was the monster? I just got back. I sent Coach a message on the game, congratulations and all that. And he said, thanks. Keyshawn was a monster.
Well,
and he's been in all the big games against the big guys.
Keyshawn's been a monster the last probably, I would say 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, he's been a brute underneath the basket.
Ever since Cardinal Ritter was one of the big ones.
And, I mean, shoot, it's one of those things you can see his confidence growing, his quickness, his feet, a lot stronger this year, very physical. It's going to be fun to watch him for the rest of this year and, all of next year.
You got it. And, of course, the Devils Lady Devils do have a Wednesday senior night. We just heard from Coach. That's Hannibal. We're not covering that, obviously. We will honor those seniors. Then Thursday night we will travel to Moline to pick that one up, the last conference game.
Wharton Fieldhouse. Haven't been there in a couple of years, I believe.
So the Devils can finish 11-3 in the conference. That's pretty impressive because they got Galesburg back and they nailed Alleman twice.
Yep. I mean, and once again, the Western Big Six this year, especially on the ladies' side, oh my goodness! I mean, you've got 4 state-ranked teams, and it's tough to get a W on the road. And hats off to United Township High School for coming down here to Quincy, and winning the outright WB6 Western Big Six Ladies Championship.
Yep, they are, and we'll be proud because we're Western Big Six, one of the teams. So, however they do, and again, I said they might not, go far. They're a good ball team. There's no doubt about a heck of a ball team, and not just centered around one player. They got some key cogs out there that do a good job as well. So, for Coach Pettit, I'm Coach Wellman for the day because I definitely was spouting it off. And we're going to wrap it up here at Blue Devil Gymnasium. We're going to head out to the pit. Your final score.
Player of the game.
Oh, I don't have a player of the game, and I'm not going to give one.
You're not going to give one?
When you lose like this, there's no such honoring, because if I was a player and you gave me the player of the game when I got beat like this, I'd give it right back to you. So there's no reason to pull one out there. There was some good play out there, but we didn't have enough. The defense, if I give anything, I give our defense for at least hustling enough to stay in the ball game and only give 41 points. That will be a plus and a player of the game, but no individual stuff for tonight. Sorry about that, Coach. And, of course, our coach's comments were powered by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Got it right that time. We're ready to head out across town to final here for the last time at Blue Devil Gymnasium. East Moline Panthers, now the conference champions, 41, and Quincy High Blue Devils, 22. It has been a great pleasure out here in the afternoon. It's been MeccaSportsCo.com. And, Coach, say goodbye, and we'll see you later on.
We'll see you tonight.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.